Hello, I'm Brady DeGroot, a student at Hope International University under the Apostolic School of Theology. Today, I want to talk to you about my strategies for success. I have here my pyramid of academic success. And as you can see, it's 6 levels with level 7 at the top being success. And each level builds on top of the previous levels. So each level is essentially a foundation for the levels that are above it. The 3 key levels that I want to talk to you about today are the bottom 3. Mission and goal setting, time and stress management, and study and learning skills. And to me, these are the 3 key levels that I will need in order to be successful in college. And so it's very important that we have a mission first and foremost and a goal in life. Because if we don't know where the end is, then how do we know where to begin? We could just take action, but if we take action without a purpose, then it's just void action and it can lead to devastating consequences. And so I want to do a little demonstration here to really demonstrate my point. And so this is me right here. Everything's going good. But here I am. I start taking action. And I don't have a purpose in life. I'm just taking some action. And I'm really making a mess of it. I've dirtied things up. But if I stop and I set a goal and then I take action according to my goal, then what I'll find is that my path will have clarity. And so I like to think of it like this. If I was going to take a trip across the country, starting in California, going to Virginia, I could start off on foot and I could go through the grapevines of California, through the deserts, up through the Rocky Mountains, down into the plains, and I'm dealing with all the elements, the environment, the animals, the bugs, so on and so forth. I'm moving through the forest, and then I'm going through the Appalachians, and eventually I'll end up in Virginia. And that's going to take a long time, and it's going to be very difficult. But I could just get in my car and get on the highway and be on the fast track. And so that is my purpose. I want to be on the fast track, and I don't want to be wandering through having to struggle. So with that being said, my academic goals are to achieve a 4.0 GPA and to be a valedictorian on graduation day. And I'm confident that if I stick to this pyramid, that I will achieve those goals. The next level I'd like to talk about is time and stress management. There's only 24 hours in a day, and to me, time and stress management are critical. Once you have a goal, you have to know how to line everything up and to operate in your path to reach your goal. And time management and stress management are the way to do that. So there's only 24 hours in a day. It's critical that I take advantage of every minute and every second of every single day. I will do that by utilizing a weekly planner. I can go into the class online the week before and figure out when my readings are due, when my assignments are due, when my journals are due, so on and so forth. And I can go in and write them into my weekly planner. I can then take that weekly planner and translate it and transfer it over into a daily planner for each and every day and say, well, Monday I'm going to do all my readings. Tuesday I'm going to do my threaded discussion. Wednesday my journals, so on and so forth. That will lead me to be more organized, to better effectively manage my time, and to be more successful. The other thing I need to do is make sure that I minimize distractions. One thing that I would love to utilize that I probably won't be able to as often as I'd like to, possibly I could do it on the weekends, but probably not during the week due to my inconsistent work schedule, is a time block schedule. It would be really nice if I could sit there and manage out and schedule out each of my blocks of time for each and every day, but it's impossible. Sometimes I work maybe 6 in the morning to 9 at night, but then maybe the next day I work 8 in the morning to 4 at night. It makes it very hard for me to plan ahead of time my time blocks and schedule them. The next thing is that time management equals less stress. And less stress equals better health. And so stress is caused by a hormone called cortisol. And there's events in life known as stressors. And these stressors release this cortisol into our bloodstream. Stressors can be things such as work problems and family problems and poor dieting and poor sleeping habits and so on and so forth. And these stressors, they build on top of each other. For instance, if you start getting less sleep, you have to stay up late or whatever, you're getting less sleep, what do you need? You need energy. So now you're going and you're searching for energy drinks and sodas and things like that to satisfy that energy need. Well, what do those energy drinks cause you to do? They cause you to desire more unhealthy things. And so then you start forming a bad diet and bad eating habits by going to places like Taco Bell and McDonald's and so on and so forth, and increasing your calorie intake, and it's a snowball effect, and it adds and adds and adds and adds and adds, and it leads to a very, very unhealthy lifestyle. So stress is simply something that I cannot have in my life if I'm going to be successful academically. And so to eliminate stress, I will exercise daily, I will improve my dieting habits, I will get regular sleep, and I will utilize good time management skills. The third level that I want to talk about today is study and learning skills. The most important part of studying and learning skills for me is that I need a quiet place to study. I'm very fortunate. I live right across the street from a city library. The problem is that the library closes at 8 p.m., so I'm not able to utilize it as often as I'd like to, which leads me to be at home more often. Well, I have a 4-year-old son, a 1-month-old baby girl, and a wife, so there's many distractions in the house. So I've had to get kind of creative on how I can get that quiet place. Sometimes we'll get my son to go into his room and play quietly, and I'll reward him accordingly. My wife will help me out sometimes. She'll take the family on a walk to the park. And so those are just some of the things that I've had to do in order to get more quiet time in my house. I don't have an office or anything that I could utilize. Another thing that I have to do when I'm at my house is I have to be very cognizant of my break times. It's very easy for me to get caught up in the distractions. I love to play with my son and things like that. So if I take a break and I don't set a timer or anything like that, it's very easy for me to turn a 10-minute break into a half hour or 45 minutes of pillow fighting with my son. And so I will utilize alarms and timers in order to keep my quiet place and have better study habits. Learning skills help me retain information better. And what learning skills will do for me is they will allow me to be more successful in college. And one thing that I've done that I really like is when I go through a chapter, I skim through it first and I read all the headings. And I like to read all the headings because then when I go back and read, I've already got an idea of the key points. And so I'm able to key in on what the author is trying to say, and it really helps me to learn more. Another thing I like to do is use sports analogies. Sports analogies, I'm a big fan of baseball. I love the Cubs. And so I like to use sports analogies. So for instance, this might be a single, a double, a triple, a home run, a double play, a triple play, and a grand slam. And those are just references that I would use for this pyramid so that I could remember the different levels of the pyramid. And I think with my skimming and then reading the chapter and my material relation, those will help me to be successful with my study and my learning skills. So now I'd like to do a demonstration here to show how my pyramid of academic success will really help me to be successful all around here. And so this right here, this represents me. This is me, and this is my goal. I'll put my goal in there. And I'm going to put a little bit of time management in there. Time management is a key one, so we'll put that in there. Put a little bit of stress management. And we'll put some study skills, some learning skills. Then we'll take the rest of these skills in this pyramid and we'll stir them all together. Stir them all together here. This is our reading and writing skills, critical thinking skills, research skills, leadership, and conflict skills. And we're just stirring it all together. We're getting it good and mixed up. This pyramid is really working for our success here. We're going to take it. We're going to mix it all together. And this is what will happen with my pyramid. I will overflow with success if I utilize my pyramid as I have designed it.